Hi Nish.
Hi Anand, how are you?
I'm good, Nish. How was MIFA for you? What was the takeaway?
Well, it was really interesting. I mean, being the first time, we met a lot of. We had a certain objective of why we were here, and we met quite a few relevant people. Largely, it was the first chance for us to show our work to a lot of people from different parts of the world, and it was a first-hand view of getting a feedback as to what the rest of the world thought about our work, and it was really very encouraging, and people have liked most of the people who have seen have really liked our work very much, and they have shown a keen interest on working with us and seeing how we can collaborate together, and so it's been good actually. I think we are really happy with.
What things would you want MIFA to include which were not there this year?
I think more buyers, if I can say so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think probably, I don't know about other years, but apparently everybody seemed to be having the same thing. Everybody has projects, everybody has films, everybody has Bibles, everybody wants to sell, and there are probably not enough buyers apparently. So I guess we hope to see more buyers next year.
Okay, you want more buyers. What about co-production deals? How was the atmosphere for co-production?
It is good. I think we spoke to quite a few companies in Quebec, and they have a lot of government funding, and they are interested in looking at that. But one thing that we realized is when we are talking co-productions, they are expecting obviously investments from the co-producer, which would be anybody who's talking to them about co-production, because if you are doing a $10 million film, probably they could get $5 million from that part of the world from government grants, etc., and they expect the partner to get in the other $5 million, either in terms of services or in terms of money or whatever the case may be, or part both. So I think that's how co-production seems to be. It looks like that's how it's going to work.
There were very few Indian companies. What is your viewpoint on that?
I really don't know. I can't speak for the people in the industry and the other companies, but yeah, it is true. There were very few Indian companies. I don't think any single Indian company had a booth here, and I don't think there were even enough movies from Indian students which were featured here, at the Bonlieu. So I don't know what it says and what it really means, but maybe there are quite a few people like me who were floating around without a booth trying to meet people, and I think we are trying to get a foot into the world space. So maybe everybody believes it's too early to.
But India already has a big foot in the world space, Mr. Takia.
Yeah, that is true, but I think largely that space probably has been till now outsourcing. There are few companies who have also partnered with companies abroad and who have started doing co-productions, and maybe they are very comfortable and settled and they don't need to be here. Their sales books are filled and they are busy, and they really are in a very comfortable position where they don't need to really go and scout around much, I guess. I really wouldn't know.
Tell us more about your feature, Delhi Safari, and what's going on with it.
Well, we are talking to quite a few people around the globe, and we are in a very advanced stage of talking to some very big distributor in the US, and which means we have to dub the film in English, which means we may have to do the stereoscopy of the film. But if that's what needs to be done, that will be done, I think.
So you say that Delhi Safari is going to be distributed globally, and
that is the desire. And that is a conversation that is going on.
And you are mulling to do it in stereoscopy as well?
We may have to, because I think looking at the kind of films that have been theatrically released globally, I think stereoscopy is more a rule than an exception. So I guess we may have to follow the lead, right? So
talking about stereoscopy, did you find a lot of companies here at MIFA talking about stereoscopy as well? Do you think
not
it's
too many. there were few people who were discussing about stereoscopy, but I think stereoscopy is a necessity probably from the American space of distribution more than any other part of the world. So people are looking, I mean, if you really want to theatrically distribute a film and you are looking at America as your holy grail, then I guess a lot of people would insist upon a stereoscopic film. And I believe that some of the studios have taken a decision that all their films henceforth would be stereoscopic. I mean, Universal and MacGuff showed Despicable Me, which was stereoscopic. Shrek 4 is stereoscopic, and I guess a lot of films coming ahead are stereoscopic as well.
And I see MIFA had a big lineup of different events at different venues. Which was your favorite, or which was the one event that you thought was like you wouldn't want to miss it again?
Good question. Actually, the truth is I spend most of my time at MIFA itself, where most of the business people got together.
Converged.
So that is one place I obviously wouldn't want to miss, because that's the reason I was here.
Yeah.
And sadly I couldn't catch as many films as I would like to.
Okay.
Because the screenings and the meetings would probably clash, and meetings were a priority over the screenings. So that's what I did, and I think you know and I know Bonlieu had most of the screenings, almost all of them here, and I think it's a great place, and I really enjoyed watching Shrek 4 and Despicable Me, and it's really nice to see the kind of work and the quality of work that is being globally done. It's an inspiration to know that, you know, this is where cinema is going ahead. So it was great. It was really great to watch those movies. I would have hated to miss them.
Thank you, Mr. Takia. Best of luck with Delhi Safari and with your global ambitions for Crayon.
Need it. Thanks.